Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. Okay, so last video, I just went off the top of my head. I had so much to say. I left behind all 7 articles I was supposed to cover. So let's do that in this video here. Let's cover these articles. All right, so we went over the Ripple.com article titled CBDCs, the future of fiat. I definitely 100% agree with that. And I believe XRP XLM will be a huge part of that. Algorand, Algo, Quant is in there with Overledger. Interledger and Overledger go hand in hand. XDC is in there. You see they have Overledger for XDC. You also saw that the World Economic Forum, I like to say this all the time, we got a lot of new people on the channel. XDC was had a great article written on it on the World Economic Forum's website. Was it weforum.org or com or something like that? So XDC is in there as well. Cannot deny them. They've had a lot of meetings with a lot of governmental entities as of recent. I'm expecting to hear some good news coming out of them in the next few months, hopefully, and it should be pretty major because they're working. Every project that they're working on is something that's really significant. They remind me a lot. The XDC team reminds me a lot of the Ripple team, where everything is strategic. Algorand is like that also. There's no wasted energy in them, and I like that. I don't have time to waste. I want projects that are going to be impactful and make that price go up. We're here to make money. I'm not here to fall in love with a blockchain or be a tribalist, you know, praise them and worship at the altar of this particular coin or whatever. No, we're here to make money, so we need to keep our eye on the ball of where that money is going to come from and why that money is going to come from. Causality. It's like the Merovingian in Matrix. When Neo and Morpheus and Trinity walk up to him, he says, you come to me without the why. Causality, cause and effect. You have to have the why. Why is it going to happen? So this is the question that we answer when it comes to research that a lot of other techniques leave out. They don't have the why, right? So let's continue on here. So let's jump from that article over here. This is Fortune.com. All right. They've been doing a good job over there at Fortune.com. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says exclusive. Former Ripple executives raise $6 million for new NFT financing. Lending startup Super Mojo. Everything is very strategic when it comes to Ripple and what they do. As I said, no wasted energy. It says, buy now, pay later is just about everywhere today. From sweatshirts on Amazon to a burrito from Chipotle. Oh, I could go for a good burrito right now. I know what you're saying. You want to have an eating contest with me? You can't eat more burritos than I can. Listen, you don't want to have a food contest with me. I will win. I'm very competitive. I'll go the whole day without eating. If the food contest is tomorrow, I'll come with an empty stomach. Not so empty, just empty enough. And I will crush you. All right, Alphanine, how do you get off into talking about food contests? We have fun over here. I do whatever I want. You know, that's how we are over here in the Bankcoin family. We're free. We do whatever we please. It says to even, I'm not going to say that word because you got to be careful on YouTube. BNPL, that is the point of sale financing method that allows shoppers to carve up a single payment into several smaller ones, has become about as unavoidable at the online checkout today as a pack of 2 Reese's peanut butter cups has been at the grocery store registered for decades. Oh, I like this writer. This writer has some style. It's very interesting. I like how they write it. Keep it interesting, right? So listen. Ripple is getting into everything. Buy now, pay later. You know, they recently came into partnership with Ducati. Ducati is like the king of all motorcycles. I know. A lot of you BMW people are going out there, know the BMWs and listen, but remember before they had that nice BMW, remember the BMW that had the round light and then they had the triangle over here. I forgot what it was called. Before that, BMW motorcycles were at the top, and I know a lot of you other motorcycle riders are going to say, "But what about Aprilia? We can do a deal. We can do a deal with Aprilia also." But here's the thing: even though Aprilia is one of the most beautiful bikes, RSV4 factory, and all of its different iterations, they don't have that name like Ducati. Ducati is not only a work of art and is praised; it has a name. So when people want to buy a Ducati NFT, and they definitely will, because the Ducati community is strong. And they hear XRP, Ripple, they're going to look into that and say, who's this blockchain that they're using? And they're going to have an initial respect for it. And that could lead to them buying a little bit of XRP, using the XRPL themselves. There's a lot of companies that Ducati partners with. So that's major. So you see, these are strategic major movements that Ripple is making with the NFT sphere, okay? No wasted energy. We don't have time to make, we want to get to that Monday, and we want to get to the money as quick as possible. My father used to tell me, used to always say, Mick, what's the fastest way from point A to point B? And he would always reiterate this, a straight line. We want a straight line to that money. This is what Ripple is doing. They're pulling out all of the different obstacles and getting right to it. So yes, Algorand has been doing the same thing, but we'll get to them a little bit later in this particular video here. So here's another article. Here's an article on cointelegraph.com. Speaking of Algorand, let's just jump right into it. Remember, Algorand is making a major move into the music industry. Artists are going to throw themselves at Algorand and anything that's based on Algorand. What's this one here? Let's just read this little tidbit. It says, playing it louder. Companies bring music licensing to the blockchain. Scroll down here a little bit here. It says, while critics use the bear market as an opportunity to pounce on crypto and belittle its value, some projects take this chance to develop and launch industry disrupting platforms on the blockchain. In July, firms launched or revealed their intentions to construct blockchain-based music licensing platforms. That's a lot of money going to come. And I mean, music artists of all different levels, singer-songwriters, hip-hop artists, rappers, pop artists, R&B, they have all been suffering because the music industry has not been paying them well. You know, they get a few cents off of every stream, all right? It wasn't good before streaming either, to be quite honest. So this is the first time that that particular industry is going to have to sell independent copies that are not only is the price going to be higher for what the artist can make and sell because they're independent, but because they're going to be rare, there's going to be rarity to those recordings, the price is going to be exponentially higher because now they're NFTs. So you're selling only 300 of them, only 300 people are going to have this. So instead of being able to sell it for, sell your album for $15, $20, something like that, you're probably going to be able to sell it for thousands of dollars. I say at the low end, you're going to be able to sell your album for about $400, $500, right? It's going to be rare. The rarity of it, knowing that no one else is going to have it as long as you do it the right way. What I'm saying is they're going to be able to, for the first time, make an exponential amount of money, more than what they used to make off of their streaming, off of their music, and off of their sales in the CD era. And so because of that, they're going to be throwing themselves at things like this that Algorand has been promoting on their particular blockchain. So it says, in July, firms launched or revealed their intentions to construct blockchain-based music licensing platforms that aim to change the way songs are licensed by reducing costs. So there you have it again, more reduced costs. Everything reduces how much it has to expend or its expenditures when they're utilizing the bank coins, right? So this is something that's delicious to a lot of different companies, and why a lot of different revenue sources, revenue streams are going to be coming into the bank coins. And who are you going to trust more than those working with the banks? I like to say this all the time. Repetition is the mother of learning, all right? It reinforces why those prices are going to explode, right? So it says removing intermediaries and bringing all of the blockchain's inherent benefits to the music scene. So you have Algorand, they brought who in? Napster, LimeWire, Dequency. This is what this article is about here. Dequency. Let's read this little piece here. Dequency creates a blockchain-based music rights portal. So you have Dequency, decentralized selling of music. All of these things are going to be major. You already saw Algorand, I believe it was Algorand, work with Run DMC. You know how many artists are influenced by Run DMC that Run DMC has contacts with, and they're going to reach out and say, hey, we sold this big NFT. You should probably do the same. And those artists are going to ask, well, where did you sell it? Algorand. That's where I sold it on Algorand blockchain. And so it's going to bring in, that type of word of mouth is very powerful. It's going to bring in even more artists. You see a lot of artists across the board selling NFTs, selling their music as NFTs already. It's just not getting a lot of publicity. Like I believe Cannabis was selling his one of his last albums as NFTs. A lot of you remember, great rap artist, very, very intellectual, probably one of the greatest of all time, in my humble opinion. Cannabis was selling his last album as an NFT. So they're starting to get into it. And it's being very, very profitable in my humble opinion. Of course, the markets are down right now. NFTs are down right now. But once we get into another bear run, The NFT market is going to explode much further than where it went before. Mark my words, they have had time to grow, time to shear things up, make it a little bit better, safer, more efficient. And not only that, more people now know about NFTs than before, and NFTs are available, and NFT services are available in more places now than they were before. We have done nothing but grow in the bank coin family through all of this bloody market. We've continued to do well, right? And that equals more, the potentiality for more money, right? So let's go here. This is on payments.com. Agro token expands Visa partnership with agriculture sector payment card. Agro card, listen, Algorand is doing a wonderful job. They're going to take off like nobody would believe, right? But then again, they didn't believe it the last time it went parabolic, right? Right? And everybody made a disgusting amount of money off Algorand, so they're not going to believe it again. That's perfectly fine as long as we get that money, right? Agro Token, a global tokenization platform focused on agro commodities, has teamed up with Pomelo and Algorand as strategic allies for the implementation and development of a card designed for the agriculture sector. This is going to be very important. Let's read just a little bit more though. Last month, Agro Token announced a partnership with Visa. Visa in there again. Visa also utilizing XLM via Tala. Keep that in mind. Also, I believe Visa has they're utilizing Hedera to some capacity. We have to wait to see what all of this is going to come out as in the final products, if they come out with the final products, of course. But we will see. But Visa is in there deep with the bank coins. All right. Let's continue on here. It says, Visa to create a payment method allowing agricultural producers to use their grains as a form of payment through a card. They're tokenizing grain. They're tokenizing grain. They're going to, I told you that money is getting bigger. Yes, I want this. The tokenization of everything on the bank coins. Algorand. See, I'm not fired up by too many things. This got me fired up. This is strategic. It is exactly what we need. I want all of that real estate. I want all of agriculture on Algorand or Hedera or any of the bank coins. We should take it all, take everything that we can now while all the other blockchains are running away, while they're all doing bad. Let's get all of that money. Take over as much of these industries as possible. Let's continue on. I got a little too excited, but that got me real excited. They're tokenizing grain. Agro Token is incorporating Pomelo as the infrastructure to issue, distribute, and process payments made with the card, which, according to the release, will soon be supported in any store that accepts Visa. Meanwhile, the Algorand blockchain will be used to make operations transparent. I told you in the last video, transparency is what they love. Traceability is what they love. Remember, Algorand can also be used as a traceability protocol, sort of like what VeChain does. So that's already, the precedent is already set. So when you're using Algorand as an agricultural business, you can probably also use it to track and trace everything that's on your farm, right? In your inventory, where it comes from, where it goes to, how long it's been there, just like VeChain does. So never forget, Algorand also has that possibility, that capability, which is major. Oh, let's continue on here. The blockchain offers a high scalability and low energy consumption because it's focused on sustainability to minimize its environmental impact, the company said. We already know that. It's a beautiful thing. Let's continue on here. We got some more articles, man. Oh, man, I think I chose too many articles today. This here is on fastcompany.com. Says using digital currencies to unlock a continent. Quant's blockchain technology is creating one big global trading network for entrepreneurs. Just read a little bit here. The BRIC economies. Hey, I told you they're coming, man. The Western world, they better prepare themselves. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they expected BRICS nations to come together the way that they did. I don't think they expected BRIC nations to be ready with a CBDC so quickly and start working on it so vehemently, right? I mean, not vehemently. Is there another word besides vehemently, right? I don't think I'm using that expediently. But to work on it so hard and to then also be willing to peg it to gold and shirk the SWIFT system, which was weaponized against them. So, I don't think that the Western world expected that. But let's continue on here. The BRIC economies were hotly tipped to reshape the global financial landscape, but Brazil and Latin America's potential has still yet to be realized. They're growing at an exponential rate. They're doing a great job down there, starting up more businesses. Their real estate is absolutely beautiful. They're putting together a lot of their systems with the blockchains, testing the blockchains out. You know, Stellar's down there. Algorand is down there heavy via Koi banks. You know, XRP is down there. Stellar was working with Brazil at one point to build their digital currency. I don't know what's going to come of that. We'll wait to see the results of that. Maybe they might go in a different direction. Who knows? But Stellar was definitely down there helping them out with that. So they're in deep with the bank coins, right? Says, could a new digital currency designed to work alongside local currencies unlock a wealth of cross-border opportunities? This is where Quant comes in. And, you know, this is why I expect Quant's price to explode. Because, as I iterated plenty of times, there's only 13 million Quant. They're trying to work with so many countries and so many banks and so many businesses. There's not a, like, listen, I know fractionalization, right? So people are going to say, well, you can buy a fractional piece of a Quant. That's not what people want. That sounds good. And you definitely can use it. That's realistic. You definitely can use a piece of Quant. People are going to buy a full Quant. There's only 13 million. Banks are going to want to buy a full Quant. You understand what I'm saying? Am I saying that clear enough? Nobody wants a fractional piece. They'll take it if that's all they can get. But they are going to understand better than most the potentiality of a Quant price and return on investment. It's not just about the utility when it comes to something like Quant. It's not 13 million. You know where that price can go? If you have all of these banks and countries using Quant, they're going to buy a full Quant. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 Quant. They're going to buy that in that way. They're not going to say, let me get 0.25 of a Quant. No. So fractionalization is there. Yes, they can buy a piece of Quant, but do I believe personally? This is my humble opinion. I could be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the comment section are going to have brilliant ideas that probably going to be the opposite of what I say, and I definitely will learn from it. I'm always willing to learn. You know, when you're a being of wisdom, you have to be open to learning, considering what others say. There may be something valuable in it. So, hey, you know, I could be completely wrong, but that's the way I see it, right? Let's continue on here. It says, I really think that cross-border payment is the next agenda, the next frontier, said Jean Pesme, World Bank's Global Director of Finance, Competitiveness and Innovation. Another international development priority, says Pesme, is to use blockchain to promote financial inclusion and faster remittance. For many business owners exporting products, it's hard to entertain the idea of having to wait weeks to be paid. Exactly. It says, quote, it comes down to cash flow and there's a lot of uncertainty. You can't have transparency of where your money is and how long it will take to get paid. So it's a case of wait and see for the business owner, unquote, Gilbert Verdian, founder and CEO of Quant Network. So, you know, they've been working with LAC Chain in Latin America. Quant is going to dominate. You've seen nothing yet when you're talking about price. $100? I'm like, what? It looks good. It's very fun. I love it when everything is green. It's fun. It's cute. That's nothing. Nothing. Listen, I think we're going to have a lot of fun when we get into another bull run, a utility run. When everything goes off and those banks step in, nations step in, governments step in, then you're going to see what a real whale is about. I said this so many times. The real whales have not entered. They're going to make retail whales look like minnows, like goldfish. They're nothing compared to the banks, compared to the governments who print money. The central bank print money like it's nothing, like it's just like it's monopoly money. You'll see. Maybe a few strong ones are going to hang around until that time, and you can do whatever you want. You know, I'm not here to sway you this way or that way. I'm just here to share my humble thoughts. And thank you so much for being here. That's all. But I think only a few people are going to make it to that point. And it's going to be very interesting in my humble opinion. So let's move on here. Right. So another little tweet from Quant here. I said another tweet. We didn't even cover one tweet yet here, but here's a tweet from Quant. Quote, through our Overledger gateway, we enable participants to connect their private, public, and permission # blockchains to @LAC chain networks and DLTs once siloed, can now interact. Didn't I say that? I said that in the last video. A lot of these governments and a lot of these, not governments, but like the banks, they don't have access to those particular corridors, okay? And I mean, listen, you could actually throw governments in there. The central banks and the governments are so deeply intertwined. There's almost no difference. You look at the Fed in the United States. Come on now. But now what offerings like Quant, XRP, XLM are doing are opening up corridors that if these entities are wise, they can now access money they did not access before. And why they will do that is because whether they interact with or utilize XRP, Quant, or XLM makes no difference. The blockchains are still going to scrape up that money. We don't need them. They need us. I said this before. They need us. We don't need them. We could dominate on our own, truth be told. However, they need us, and they always try to take over something, new technology. So, you know, this is what they're doing once again, just like they did with the internet and a lot of other technologies that they conscript and bring in for them to utilize and to maintain their power structures and such like that. So it's always the way it's been throughout history. So I'm going to leave it there. I have one more article on VeChain, but we'll cover that next time. VeChain is still doing a great job. They're going to explode, you know, one of the few non-bank coins, but it is a massive utility coin that I truly respect. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the